Good morning. Why should you make Mondays magical for your team? What if your team was so excited to come into work every Monday that they literally started thinking about it the night before, on Sunday night when they're finishing up whatever they were doing? For that matter, what if you had prepared for the week the night before, and this morning, today, Monday morning, you arrive at work just bursting with energy, clarity, and so much renewed enthusiasm about your vision that you just can't even wait to connect with your team? Sounds like a dream, right? I'm here to tell you that this is not only possible, but it is an absolutely necessary part of creating good in your life. And I don't care if you're guiding or managing just yourself or a small team of people or thousands of employees, especially right now. Everything depends on starting out with a magical Monday morning. I'm Michelle Oliver, and in working with all kinds of business owners, I have repeatedly seen the power of executing what I'm going to share with you today and the pain of not doing so. I'm going to be here every Monday morning, not sure what time yet. Hopefully earlier than this a bit, because you're probably all in meetings right now, but I'll be here every Monday morning sharing what I've learned about company culture and encouraging and hopefully inspiring you, because this is my first LinkedIn live stream. Before I go into these 3 tips, I just want to address a huge issue. So honestly, it blows my mind how many people, businesses, and organizations still tend to brush off the topic of company culture as a soft skill category, somehow thinking that these skills just come naturally as a result of writing down their mission statement or having an amazing tagline, and that they don't require the same amount of attention, time, energy, and effort that putting operations in to the organization require. They'll say, well, you can't track ROI, and I have to strongly disagree. I've had people say to me, do we really have to talk about happiness? And will you please stop bringing up the word relationships and harping on communication? Well, let me tell you, when your people are not happy, how productive are they? And I think people misunderstand many things. They think that it's all about fluff and rah-rah and cheerleaderism, and as if that were a bad thing, honestly. Why do sports teams have cheerleaders? Okay, so all of this matters. And I apologize, I'm like holding my laptop here. So company culture has been my priority for many, many years, but I've always brought it in the back door because usually people reach out to me for marketing concerns, or there's a crisis, right? There's a matter of the moment that cannot be ignored. And it takes time, because once we solve that problem, underneath it, guess what there is? There are employee problems, relationship problems, culture problems, communication problems. Everything is about people. I mean, we've all heard the stats, and let me see if I know I have them, some of these. Okay. Here's just a few. 46% of job seekers cite company culture as very important when choosing to apply to a company. 47% of active job seekers cite company culture as their driving reason for looking for work. They're not happy with their relationships and how they feel in their current job. 91% of managers, now this is good news from my perspective, in the US say that a candidate's alignment with the company culture is equal to or more important than skills and experience. And the people who are saying that are absolutely correct and spot on. 60% of employees think they would be more productive at home than in the office. Now, that's a whole nother topic that I really do want to talk about, because we're still talking about company culture. Okay, and still, with all the stats and all the enlightened people and all the resources available to us, we mindlessly stroll by the obvious in search of the quick fix or the magic pill that's going to solve the crisis of the moment. And I assure you that if you address culture, it will solve a million problems that are currently festering that you don't even know about. Problems that you're dealing with right now, but you think they are about something else. And many, many problems in the future you can prevent. Preventative measures that directly result in ROI. All of this does. Okay, I'm on a mission. Here's a part of my vision for you. I educate and support franchisees in learning how to implement powerful strategies and tactics to create wow cultures that make business profitable, faster, more integrated, and happier and more fun. So if you want to connect with other like-minded people who really care about company culture, you can comment below, send me a DM or whatever, or you can be on our email list and we will connect. I would love to talk with you. So let's get to it. Here's how you do it. Now I'm going to take you back to a place that people shut off when I say it very often. Vision. And before you shove that word into the background, believing you have that part all figured out, I want to do three things, okay? I want to talk about what it means, talk about what happens without it, and talk about what to do with it and when to do it. So the vision component is the single most significant part. And interestingly enough, many business owners, CEOs, and managers that I meet with, they have a closed mind about this, and they don't even realize they have a closed mind because we're very focused on moving forward, right? So we're like, okay, vision, mission, tagline, we've got that, branding. Now let's move on to the next thing. And it's one of those things, you haven't really covered it just because you had a vision session and you wrote out your mission and everybody contributed or whatever. You haven't really covered it. So that tagline is not enough. It's really about bringing that vision, mission statement, and tagline to life and communicating that not only to the world, which is another conversation later in your marketing, that's a secondary piece, but communicating that to your employees and staff in ways that allow them to integrate it into their own personal vision and personal mission and personal tagline for themselves, and helping them to understand how to express that within the organization every single day, every single act, every single interaction, every bit of communication. And that is what being tied to your vision is all about. So when people talk about operations, it is, I would argue that this is even more important, to have systems in place to actually carry this message of who and what is important to you based on your vision for the organization directly to your employees, and then to support them not only from that message, but everything that matters in terms of culture. So what does this have to do with a magical Monday? Okay, it's a huge topic. And like I said, I will be here every Monday morning talking about this. So if you're interested and you want to have more conversations, please reach out to me or comment or something. And you know, I'm interested in hearing what other people are doing. So more than just the people I'm working with. So please reach out to me. I'd love to open this up to conversations. But think about this. The opposite of vision is blindness. It's the inability to see where you're going. And think about how that affects everyone in your business. So sure, they have roles and responsibilities they may be clear about, right? But those roles and responsibilities must be fueled with emotion and purpose. even if they're not like the idea you have of happiness or cheerfulness or, all of that, it doesn't matter. It's an internal experience. The emotion and purpose that comes from really understanding what that vision is and how it drives you. It's something that when you really dive deep, you understand that the relationship that everyone within your organization has without vision, they become so, like I said, there's so many things I want to talk about, but it's like you can solve these underlying problems that you don't even exist. And it boils down to their misunderstanding and personal lack of connection. They're operating blind, right? Because they haven't integrated that. So when you're blind, you aren't clear. You might have your roles and responsibilities, but you really aren't clear about why you're doing it. You don't have that purpose integrated. I think about this every single day. What is my vision for today? And how do I take the vision from my organization and integrate it into myself on a daily basis? And that starts with morning routines, which comes to the making mornings on Monday magical. It makes all the difference in the world. You have that Monday morning magic in place, that magic that makes them just really want to work for your dream. When they don't have that vision and they aren't connected personally to it, they're wandering in this lack of clarity. That clarity causes, that lack of clarity causes confusion. The confusion causes doubt, and the doubt is like a poison because people start having these back channel conversations, and it's very destructive. I've seen this happen again and again and again. So, okay, so without this, you're simply going to experience much less productivity because people don't know what they're doing, and everything becomes then an external motivation, right? When they're internal motivated. I used to work with a company many, many years ago called Success Motivation Institute, and also with Lou Tyson Pacific Institute. And we were constantly harping on this difference between internal and external motivation. And this is what we need to create within our employees. It's significant. Without the vision, without having the systems in place to integrate that into the hearts of your employees, you're just going to have less productivity. Okay, so this is why when I begin working with organizations, I love to start those relationships out with live events because it allows us to get away from the madness of the daily. And no matter how great you are, there's always stuff, right? So when you can get away from that, have an event, and really just deeply go into this, it sets you up with an incredibly powerful foundation. Okay, I'm going to leave you. If you want some tools, just comment on this or send me a DM, and I'll send you some things, because there are definitely things you can integrate immediately that will make a difference. And I'm going to leave you with 2 things to think about, and hopefully we can dive deeper into this every Monday. There's so much meat to this topic, and it's crazy to me how people can just walk by it and not use it and leverage it. It is, I believe, the single most powerful thing you have. Obviously, your people. It really, truly, it's all about relationships, right? The relationship you have with them trickles into everything they do. So here's the 2 things. What experiences do you want your employees to have each day? And what schedules or systems do you have in place to deliver those systems? These 2 things are huge. If you're already doing these things, I'd love to hear more from you. Please message me or comment on this video. And we both know you don't need more emails, but you don't need more information. If you decide to join our email list, you can leave your email below and I'll be posting other ways to do that. But our goal is to send only very inspired content that you can actually apply to your teams. So you can give them a try and unsubscribe if they aren't for you. And I'll thank you in advance for taking action on faith. Please go out there today and just pour into your team. Share some magic with them. The magic is in just modeling for them the power of why you are in business, why you are serving, why you started this whole thing, or you bought a franchise, or whatever you are doing in your business, and share a little bit of that and just see what happens. Okay. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I'm going to be here much more often now, definitely every Monday, and I hope to see you again.